That's oddly specific.
It's a Business Pants Friday show here at August 7th Studios featuring analyst whole Matt Moscardi. Yeah, boy.
Me. Hey, ho.
On today's weekly wrap-up, Uber sucks even more.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Courts are trying to make up for complacent shareholders. And billionaires sell their rogue AI.
Yeah.
Banking on trouble or something.
Can we just say that I was, for once, correct
Right?
about something?
I mean, you might be, yeah. I think you are with Meta, maybe not the other two. Our show today is being sponsored by FreeFlow Analytics and FreeFlowAnalytics.com.
Yeah.
The only platform measuring board power, connections, performance for free. Now, I have a family member who looked at the platform, and she was, look, I'm going to be fair. She doesn't understand 90% of it, but normally when I show her things from our company, she really doesn't care. She was completely blown away by this. Like, I couldn't stop praising it. It was like showing me different features and being like, oh, how cool is that? I don't know what it means, but how amazing is this? Like,
I don't know what it means is a gap that has to be filled.
To be fair, she doesn't work in this field. I mean, she has like a master's in theater history. So what are we talking about here?
But I will say that the beta email went out. So the people who are on the original freeflowanalytics.com platform got an email that said, hey, you have access now to the beta platform and it's beta until the end of the month. Once we hit Labor Day, I heard it's going to switch on. It's just going to work. It's going to switch on. It's going to be the platform. It's the only one.
My doctor's office and my insurance company I use, Anthem, they put out a email saying that you're crazy if you don't use this platform.
They did, yeah. They said they won't even cover your medical costs anymore if you don't use the platform.
If you do any research of corporations at all, even if you're a retail investor, if you own a hedge fund, whatever your deal is, if you don't use this, you're nuts. That's what the Anthem said. You're nuts.
There's actually the portfolio function is turned on for everybody now.
All right,
and
good.
I heard they already expanded the free access from 250 companies to 500 companies.
I don't
It's
know
already
about-
we're already giving more away free. All right, let's do this because otherwise I'm going to get
Story of the
tired
week.
to do the story of the week. I don't want to do your first story. Can we just skip to the second story?
I'm going to try to go quickly on this one. In no particular order, this is from the New York Times. Uber's strategy for fighting sexual assault suits. What were you wearing? That's the title of the article. Uber's attorneys aggressively interrogated survivors about their clothing, e.g., this is all real stuff, asking if they wore underwear or heels.
No.
Asking about their drug and alcohol consumption, sexual history. They weaponized past trauma by scouring private medical records and therapy notes, even petitioning courts to force survivors to undergo psychiatric exams or reveal details of childhood abuse to paint them as unreliable narrators. This is in response to at least 4,000 lawsuits filed by passengers accusing Uber of failing to protect them from sexual assault. Now, the background to this is even worse because there was a blog post put out by Uber Chief Legal Officer Tony West called "Why Safety is Personal to Me." He brags about the transparent reporting, despite the fact that Uber is burying 400,000 other assault complaints because they labeled them as things like unaudited or they weren't they didn't rise to the right level or so.
We sent a stamped envelope, but no one wrote us back via the mail, so we don't know.
That's all I'll spend on this. If you want to hear more, we went into depth on our Tuesday show. If you want to download that show, we spent a lot of time on this, including I personally was triggered by Mr. West's. Does he deserve to be called Mr. at this point? Mr. West's blog post, "Why Safety is Personal to Me," because it was just full of utter nonsense, including blaming the adversarial legal system for why his attorneys are so aggressive.
Yeah.
Because this is the way it's done. This is just the way it's done.
It's the legal system that does this. It's not our fault. There's no other way to fight this except to be total and complete, asshole, ingrates. I do want to say I only say one thing about this because it's horrible. Like I couldn't even quite finish the story. Like I had to skim through the end because it was like so disgusting to me. Other than CEO Dara,
Yeah.
know the board members' names. Here they are: Ron Sugar.
Apple, right? He's not. No.
Ron Sugar also on Apple board.
Apple, right?
Robert Eckert.
Yeah.
Bob Eckert actually is on Amgen's board and Levi Strauss. So if you're buying those cute jeans and wearing them in an Uber, and then they say, "Were you wearing cute
Oh,
jeans?"
interesting. Yeah.
It's Robert Eckert
they
who's on
tight?
both fucking boards.
Yeah.
Saying your
Interesting.
jeans are nice and tight because we made them that way, and also you can't win your lawsuit for assault because you wore my Levi's jeans. How about Ursula Burns? Ursula Burns on the Taiwan Semiconductor and IHS boards also. Nikesh Arora, who's on Palo Alto Networks. He was just in
Ew.
the news because he is like the third highest paid CEO in the United States for a company that no one's ever fucking heard of.
Yeah.
What the hell is Palo Alto Networks getting paid that much for?
Cybersecurity, maybe? Yeah.
Mandy Ginsburg, Universal Music Group. Remember when Universal Music was a thing that anyone cared
Not
about?
really. I thought there's just Spotify. Isn't that all that's left?
Also, Mandy Ginsburg on ThreadUp's board. I'm sensing a pattern that these people are on clothing companies' board so they have insight in how to beat your assault lawsuit.
I don't like what you're saying, yeah.
Because they're, we know you bought that from that cute underwear that used. How about John Thane? I don't know if you
Ew.
remember John
Yeah.
Thane, that name.
I do.
John Thane was the CEO of Merrill Lynch in the financial crisis, who tried to sell. He sold Merrill Lynch to Bank of America during the financial crisis, during all the consolidation. And he actually was holding out because Bank of America said Merrill Lynch was going bankrupt. He ran them into the ground in like the 7 months he was running them. And he held out for bonuses. He forced Bank of America to pay out his bonus so that he would keep working there. Ravathi Advaithi, I don't know who that person is, also on Flex Limited's board. Turkey Al Nowazer, who's on Lucid, Hapag Lloyd, and Heathrow Airport board. Heathrow Airport, which is, I'm flying there and I'm not looking forward to it. And then finally, Alexander Wynants, who's on Deutsche Bank and Air France's board as well. All of that's on the platform, but this is the thing. You want to be angry at this? Like you could be angry at the CEO, but do nothing. You can vote out all the board members. This is
You
a
can
one
vote out.
class.
Well, you can vote out Dara from the board at least.
One share, one vote company. And I can't imagine an investor who's sitting there saying like, oh, like I have a kid, daughter or son. I am excited for them to take an Uber, get assaulted, and then get told that, they're because they've been a victim of abuse in their past, that they're an unreliable narrator and lose the assault lawsuit. These are horrible people running a horrible company.
I want to. What's probably not in the platform, but should be if we were tagging news back in 2008, is this. Do you remember this great when he was CEO at Merrill Lynch, John Thane?
Yeah, Thane.
He famously he spent over $1.2 million of company money to redecorate his office, including an $87,000 area rug and a $1,400 wastebasket. In 2008, do you remember what happened around 2008?
Yeah, I vaguely remember. Yeah, it was like
Some
a
kind of a
financial
collapse.
pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, that's the
Horrible.
Uber story.
Move on. I hate it.
The second one, TikTok withheld a safety feature for millions. One died by suicide. I know it's odd that I selected the story, but you know what? I'm just like, it's weird that we never talk about TikTok. I don't know how they. I just don't know how they avoid the. We talk about Meta all the time, Instagram.
Well, now TikTok is
Elon.
owned by Ellison, right? Like,
Right. So
isn't
I
it
just wanted to
Ellison
give
property?
I wanted to give TikTok its due. So what the story is about is that they tweaked their algorithm in 2021 to stop users from being overwhelmed with harmful content.
Overwhelmed by it. They just wanted them to be whelmed, not
Yeah.
overwhelmed.
At that point, that's when you should be shutting the company down. But that's a whole nother story. But the company did not roll out the safer version to everyone, including to internal documents, to see if the change might reduce the app's stickiness. The company conducted an experiment, and it created a control group of 10% of U.S. users, which would have been about 15 million people. And according to documents, one of those people was a 16-year-old named Chase Nasca, who, again, according to the documents, the algorithm pushed him thousands. I can't even believe I can't believe I'm reading. Pushed him thousands of videos about suicide, sadness, hopelessness, and loneliness right up to the moment where he killed himself. To your point about Uber, I mean, we're taking this very specific viewpoint about voting people out and holding people accountable, but I don't know, like, when are the CEOs just going to lose their jobs for crap like that? And when's it going to get worse? When's it going to get elevated to a criminal?
It's Chinese owned. Well, that's the good, right? Like, because they are conducting social experiments on their users.
Right.
That's what they're doing. And they said that. They basically said, we will conduct an experiment on 10% of the users, right? Like,
which is 15 million people, mind you.
Gig work is a social experiment. It is a couple of tech bros came up with the idea, and they're conducting it as a mass social experiment on the United States. Social media, constantly conducting social experiments on you. How are people going to react? What emotions they're going to have? There was just a story about Zuckerberg at Meta, they've been paying content creators now, and they're finding that the content creators that they're paying are paid to induce rage. They're paid actually to make you angry. That's what they're paid to do.
Well,
that's a
I
social
feel
experiment. It's I don't want to talk about this. Do you have any stories that I'm going to like?
15 million people, by the way, is the population of New England. So basically, like, anyone you see is someone that they were maybe experimenting with.
I don't like that.
That's a lot of people.
That is a lot.
By the way, on a side note, there was a terrible story that happened on TikTok where some celebrity gossip dude, Perez Hilton, was live streaming acts of self-harm. I don't know the full story, but I don't know. He was like hurting himself, and it's something that shouldn't have been shown. And TikTok is blaming it on a moderator error, not on themselves, but on a moderator who probably makes.
Aren't the moderators contractors too?
$7 an
that's
hour,
so much
if
better.
that,
Yeah, that's so much.
All right,
better.
moving on. No, you're not going to like any of my stories. Moving on. The Government Accountability Office finds Elon Musk's Doge inflated claims of $110 billion in savings for the federal government. I know you're not surprised by this, but it's a data story, and it covers like the biggest director and CEO in our database. So I was like, I'll just cover it. So they found that this is crazy. This whole story is nuts. This is like I don't know why. Anyway, I'm not going to get on a soapbox about Elon Musk, but they found that 96% of the savings Doge claimed from grant cancellations lack supporting evidence or methodology to verify. They claimed that $27 billion in savings across 2,500 contracts were never actually terminated or reduced, so they lied about that. Over 40% of the lease cancellations listed were already in progress before the agency was created. That sounds like being a founder of Tesla, right? He was never a founder of Tesla.
That's right. Somebody else did the work. You
uncovered widespread data errors, such as overstating total lease savings by nearly $60 million. And then they failed to disclose how they calculated its metrics, and they completely ignored requests for interviews and supporting data. So, yeah, right? I mean, I know you're not surprised, but you know the same stuff's going on at SpaceX and Tesla. So as retail investors
This is how they operate.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
Here's the real reason I grabbed the story, because, we look at the people behind these companies. We don't just like deal with the headlines. So there's another story that said, where are Elon Musk's former Doge staffers now? Okay. So I'm just going to quickly go over this. Edward Big Balls Correstein. Remember there was a guy named Big Balls?
Yeah, Big Balls. I remember him. Yeah.
So now he works at something called the National Design Studio. He's trying to make federal websites like prettier. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Jeremy Lewin. He actually is now on the White House National Security Council.
That's horrible.
After moving to the State Department, becoming a senior official for foreign assistance, humanitarian affairs, and religious freedom. So after dismantling USAID, he basically got
religious freedom. Come on.
Nate Kavanaugh, Justin Fox founded. This is now we're getting to the founder part of the story. They founded a holding company called Special, which promises to do for private businesses what Doge did to the federal government, which I guess means what, like ruin
inflate the numbers, fake like accounting fraud.
Gavin Kleiger, Luke Ferrator, Marco Elez, and Jack Stein. Notice how everything everyone talking about is a man. Founded Cathedral, a startup that plans to use AI to expand U.S. military cyber capabilities, including defenses against China. Right, of course.
China. Just say China a bunch.
And then finally, Ethan Xiaotran founded Blitz Industries, which he described as a defense company backed by big names. This again, here's why I'm triggered by this. This is why all this is so important to me. Like it's so important to me to constantly remind people how important it is to know who are making the decisions, getting the VC funding, who. You got to know who is involved. You can't just squint and blame everything on like Target. You know, you got to like drill down a bit deeper. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's not just you can't get mad at Doge, right? I mean, you got to get a little more sophisticated than getting mad at an acronym.
Look, if you were like a medieval serf, like working in the fields, you wouldn't throw your cabbage at like the company. You'd throw the cabbage
at the company sign.
At like Gus, the guy who like did you wrong, right? Just know the name.
And finally, in an article that we covered earlier this week, but I wanted to give it praise for Story of the Week, why companies that call themselves meritocracies don't always pay equally. And this other article, meritocracy claims make managers pay men more than equally qualified women. So some of the takeaways from this study is that explicitly branding an organization a meritocracy lowers managers' vigilance against bias, making them more likely to discriminate. Given identical job titles and performance ratings, men are making more money than women, of course, even though they're equally qualified than women. Blah, blah, blah. I think you can...
I mean, the short version of
imagine the takeaway from all of this is that the meritocracy is a sham. It's a joke. In fact, it's worse than that.
Meritocracy.
It's a system used to keep women down. Yeah.
The word meritocracy by itself. In fact, the MIT study that is worth repeating this because we did it on Tuesday, but the MIT study found that using the word meritocracy, if you have like a bonus program at your company and if you say it's a meritocracy, they will pay men more. If you say it's not a meritocracy, they tend to pay women more. That's it. That's the whole thing.
It's a systemic illusion which is keeping women underpaid, right?
So this is the incredibly heavily biased overreaction to DEI by the conservatives in America, right?
Conservatives led by Elon Musk and the hundreds of millions of dollars that he throws at this very cause, right? Because this is his thing.
Yeah. I don't like these stories. Do I have to choose one?
We're in the part of the summer, really since July 1st, like where it's kind of hard to find traditional business stories. I don't know if everyone's off or...
Yeah, we're off next week, and I don't know if we're off the week after that, maybe even.
What? Double? A double off?
Yeah, maybe.
All right, what do you got? What do you pick?
Oh, man. I mean, there's kind of... no, I'm going to go with the meritocracy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to go with meritocracy because...
I'm okay with that.
Well, first of all, Doge we knew. They were covering how that was a big fat fraud from the beginning, from the very start. It did nothing. It cost us money. And in fact, it just ruined our status in the world. Like Elon Musk cannot run a company. He's not good at it.
Right? But what I like about the story, though, is that, and it's what we try to adhere to here daily as we do our work, is that instead of just saying a thing, like actually try to like align it with data and objective findings, right? Like with an actual methodology, and you can't just say a thing and then move on, like, right?
But I at least the content of the story, we kind of knew it. TikTok We also knew that
I just wanted to remind people that TikTok sucks.
they're all doing social experiments on us. So get off of them. Just put your phone down. Go outside.
It could have been Uber. I would have accepted Uber and
Uber
Meritocracy.
was the other one I would have considered because it's so heinous. But I think
Horrible.
the platform solves that problem, which is exactly who to vote out, and you can write them a letter and say, "This is why I'm voting against all of you because this is heinous." Especially blaming the legal system. It's the legal system's fault. You're horrible human beings. The meritocracy we knew was a fraud, but finally people are doing studies on the idea of the meritocracy. In fact, on the platform itself, on the Free Float platform, there is a section called Advanced Diagnostics, Merit, Network, and Risk, where it shows which directors have merit on paper. You can see at Uber, for instance, that only 3 of the, 12 directors actually cross a single line into has merit to be on this board on paper. The meritocracy we knew was a fraud, and I love that they're proving it. I like that they're doing that. All right.
Let's not forget, too, before we move on, that even if you're not an investor, if you're a consumer, you can also, like Matt said, first you can stop using Uber, but you can write a letter just like an investor might and say, hey, this is why we're not going, and these are the directors that we're mad about. And you can list their names, and you can use the database for more than just investing, right? Or voting decisions.
Oh, yeah.
Consumer decisions are just as important.
In fact, I mentioned that, Bob Eckert's on the Levi Strauss board. Like that's it. You can write 2 companies. You could write to Uber and to Levi Strauss and say, you have a director that is basically okay with the fact that they're victim blaming. And as a person shopping at either Levi's or, using Uber, I'm not okay with that. All right, let's move on because I hate everything. It's meritocracy. Good list. Yeah, good list. I got one, but it's like 4 things in the one.
All right, well, then I'll go first and get mine over with. Because I took a Matt perspective this week, which is I'm like...
ironic good?
Kind of, but actually, okay, here's the lesson. The headline is Google scraps AI satellite images within 24 hours. So this happened after fierce backlash from journalists, researchers, and open source intelligence experts who warned that it could accelerate the spread of misinformation. It was letting users generate AI-created satellite images on the Google Earth and on Google. The whole thing sounds like a madness to me. But
why?
But here's my takeaway. Here's my takeaway. To all these companies, Alphabet, and not really companies. I'm talking about the men who run the companies, right?
Yeah, the dictators. Yeah.
You can stop things. Look what you did here. It took you 24 hours to shut it down. You can do this with other things. You don't have to make us all like drooling idiots who don't know how to socialize, don't know how to read, don't know how to write, like who rely on your technology to function. Like you can shut things down.
Yeah, I'm not going to vote for that one as good list. All right, my good list is just the court system in the United States. Here are the 4 headlines I saw. Court rules against Trump's EPA freeze on $20 billion in green bank funds.
I wish they'd rule against all this. Like there was another article today about he's paying another European company to shut down
wind.
They're paying like a $1.2 billion.
He is using taxpayer money to stop us making money.
Awful.
Right? Like
Awful,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
UBS fined record $125 million for money laundering violations.
I hate that they get away with stuff like that.
Meta fined $567 million in largest child safety ruling against a social media giant. So $500 million's not nothing.
Yeah, well, that's in addition to the fine that's out of New Mexico.
Yeah,
that's an additional. So the original fine was like 300 and something million, and this is an additional. They're like tagging it on because they're creating a fund basically because Meta is so heinous.
Honestly, this is the Aaron Brockovich thing, right? Like they're just gonna have a fund that they pay out to every teen who's been ruined by this.
Yeah.
And then finally, judge says Nexstar can't appoint its executives to Tegna's board of directors.
What is that? What's the quick story there?
Do you remember Nexstar and Tegna?
Kind of.
When the FCC attacked Jimmy Kimmel, remember Tegna and Nexstar were the affiliates who said Jimmy Kimmel, they were the ones who came out and said Kimmel besmirched Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
And
Thank
they
God.
wanted to merge and create like one massive affiliate group.
Uh-huh.
Well, now a judge is saying, well, yeah, but the judge can't say you can't merge because somebody else said they could merge, but the judge is like, well, you can't put your executives on the board.
Wow.
It's not going to be like your executives are sitting.
I was
on
going
this
to say,
board.
if you weren't off next week, I was going to say, I want to get more into that story. That sounds fascinating.
Yeah, we'll go more into it
okay,
when
later,
we get
later.
back. All right, so I'm going to go with courts.
All right,
as
just
the
move
winner
on to
for that.
courts,
All right.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
look, we didn't do assholes. The story of the week was a bunch of assholes. I don't know
Yeah,
what I'm going
look.
to add here.
We've made it clear all year that the court system is really in this country has become like the most important wall of defense against a lot of the horrible behavior coming out of corporations in the Donald Trump administration. So yeah, I think you're right to praise the courts. Every time we see something like this, I think you're right to and the good news is that everything we tag here and talk about will, if you go to the Meta page of the new platform, you'll see that when you scroll down, you'll see that they're every time they've been fined by a court or whatever. All this great stuff.
I didn't do what you love though, which is to find out if every judge was
Yeah.
a woman, because that does
Yeah.
seem to be the only thing that happens.
Yeah.
All right.
Asshole.
You got 4 options. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 1, everything's a publicity stunt.
Okay. What does that
I'm just
mean?
going to read headlines. I'm going to keep this simple. Just gonna
Yeah.
read
Let's
some
keep it
headlines.
simple for once.
All right. Headline: jealously watching OpenAI and Anthropic, Meta suddenly claims that its AI went on a hacking spree too.
Well, you do deserve kudos for this because
Yeah.
you suggested as such, but here's where I'll just disagree with you a little bit. Is that at AI you suggested that Sam Altman too was doing it to show off.
Yeah.
I think
OpenAI
Sam
did it.
Altman actually is a sociopath, and you can't really understand why he does anything he does. He's at once warning you that he's ruining the world, but at the other side is saying like, "Don't stop me." But we know that Zuck is definitely doing this for publicity because he's like he's failing so hardcore at everything he does with Meta and now with AI. He's losing so much money that I absolutely agree with you. You called it like they're pretending like this is a good thing.
Pretend.
Right?
Honestly, is there, if you put Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg next to each other in the hierarchy of punchable people, Zuck
Yeah.
is number 1, right? Like 1A
I
to
don't
the
know.
1B,
I don't
maybe.
know. I don't know.
He's just such like needy, like
I don't know.
look at me.
It's a great question.
Like copying. He's like the like kid in your neighborhood who you never wanted to pick for dodgeball.
The good news is that
and
you have
fucking
two,
hate that he
you have
follows
two
you
fists,
around.
You realize you have 2 fists.
Oh, that's good. And I also saw the headline: Zuckerberg conveys, quote, apologies for child sex abuse material errors in operating platform, government sources say.
This is India, right?
Yes, this
Yeah.
is, and he said he conveyed his apologies. Oh, my bad. Just sorry for all the child sex abuse material.
And the only reason why he's doing that is because the population of India is a bit bigger than the population of New England.
Yeah.
Because there's so many potential like addicts there that's the only reason, because he doesn't
he can't leave.
He doesn't
can't leave there.
apologize, but he doesn't want to. He's not going to lose that customer base. So if they tell him to apologize, because they forced him to apologize. We've tagged those stories throughout the week where the Modi government was basically, you better apologize.
Yeah, come out and apologize.
So we did, yeah.
How about these for publicity stunts? Pure insanity. Elon Musk details SpaceX plans to turn the moon into its newest manufacturing site.
It's funny you mentioned there was a funny headline in Futurism this week that said SpaceX finally landed something on the moon, but it was like a going at 4,000 miles an hour or whatever, and crashing into the moon.
5,400 miles an hour, it crashed
Because
because
now SpaceX is just dumping its crap that it doesn't know how to control onto celestial bodies that orbit the Earth, because that's what Elon Musk does.
The guy whose starting point for Tesla was, we need to save the Earth from climate change and fossil fuels, is dumping trash on the moon. He's just putting his trash on the moon. The
great.
fucking asshole. Anthropic's Mythos created fake identities to fool humans in new cyber incident.
Okay, so now we have Anthropic,
Look,
Meta,
Anthropic,
and AI. Yeah.
Anthropic came out like 4 months ago with their Mythos is too powerful to give to anybody, so we're going to keep it under wraps. Press
Created
release.
fake identities to fool humans.
Then OpenAI, and then Anthropic, their valuation crossed OpenAI's. Because they're more valuable.
Now I actually really do believe you, because the worse the company is, the quote unquote, the smarter they are, right?
Yeah,
The more nefarious the model is, the more devilish it is, their valuation goes
Suddenly
up
the valuation
immediately, right?
goes up. And so OpenAI, once their valuation was below Anthropic's, they announced, "Oh, we accidentally went rogue and hacked somebody."
Yeah.
And then OpenAI
Good
gets
call.
a whole lot of attention, and now you got Zuck. Oh, guys, we did it too.
Yeah, we broke
I mean,
into the cookie jar too. Yeah.
The fact is, we know Zuck's version of this. Sam Altman is sociopathic enough to have like used an actual incident, because I think the incident is probably real. I think he's sociopathic enough
it's real.
to use the incident as a marketing device.
Yeah.
I think Zuckerberg literally was like, hack a site we need to announce.
I mean,
I don't.
probably right.
I'm not fucking joking.
Yeah.
I honestly think that guy was just like, we look like we're falling behind. Our
'Cause they
AI
are.
needs to hack somebody.
Yeah.
So just like hack the local car auto mechanic. I don't care.
I usually don't fall for your nonsense, but if there was any independent oversight at that company, I bet they would unearth exactly that. I bet you, if the directors were allowed to do their jobs there, they would find that Mark Zuckerberg does stuff like that.
Are you saying Dana White's not looking currently?
Dana White also losing money? I heard he lost like $30 million on his weird fight at the White House. They all just lose money, but somehow are the most powerful people in the world. I don't really know how it works,
they're
but
big fat frauds. And,
Yeah.
and then the last one was the GAO Elon Musk story,
Yeah.
which is the Doge was a publicity stunt. It was a publicity stunt in
it
its
was. But
entirety. A
but the
fraudulent
different
publicity stunt.
here's the difference: is that Elon Musk has like an otherworldly ego. I don't know where he got it, and I think he thinks because he says a thing that he's going to achieve it. Like when he says, "Oh, we're going to colonize Mars by 2021," he just assumes it's going to happen because he just thinks that highly of himself.
I think that's possible, but I think actually like they're all meant to. I mean, Elon Musk was brought in to slash and improve the U.S. government. The
Because he
result
paid
was
his way in by giving hundreds of millions of dollars.
and
to
the result was he's a trillionaire, right? Like he
Right,
went from a $200 billion net worth to a $1 trillion net worth. This is the ends justifying the means. This is like seven guys have all the money and they think, well, what we say is truth. Because even if like I just do a vanity project and I lose money on that project, it doesn't matter. What I say is truth because I have all the money.
What else you
in
got?
The end.
You're not wrong. What else you got?
Number two, everything's a vanity project. Speaking of vanity projects,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Bezos says he's selling $1 billion in Amazon stock every year to fund Blue Origin. It's the most important work I'm doing.
More important than like shipping like shoe trees from Vietnam to in like 1 hour.
I can't
for
argue
17
that.
cents.
I can't argue against that part. But doesn't he have a nonprofit that does like climate work?
Supposedly, there was a press release about some partnership with like Leonardo DiCaprio this week. It's all just
But
fluff.
like he's saying the most important work he's doing is shooting penis rockets into the mesosphere. That's the most important work you're doing? That's it. It's not saving the planet. It's not using your billions to help hungry people. It's not like, that's the most important. I mean, you had a yacht built in a place that couldn't actually get the yacht out. And so you wanted to destroy ancient bridges for your personal yacht. But the most important work you're doing is actually crafting, like out of clay, a penis shaped rocket to send in the outer space. How about SpaceX achieves its first moon landing, crashing it at 5,400 miles an hour? SpaceX is basically a vanity project for this fucker. I mean, I know. I just hate everything about it. And then this one, judge sets Paramount Warner Brothers merger trial for March.
March. Wow, that's a long way away.
Well, I forget how long it is.
Yeah.
Paramount Warner Brothers is a vanity project. The merger is
for Ellison?
Daddy,
Yeah.
give me some money, Daddy. I want to buy some TV shows. Like it's so
And let's not forget,
lame.
if it wasn't for his friendship with Trump, Larry's friendship, Netflix would have already owned it at this point, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
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 How about this one that I'm just going to add this one only because it tweaked me and I didn't know how to fit it into my stories. OpenAI's Greg Brockman gave $6 million to protect the home of an internet famous bald eagle named Jackie. So this is, I mean, luckily they've solved like the homeless crisis in California, but so this tool from OpenAI is giving $6 million for an eagle nest. That's great. That's cool.
That's good. That's good. I mean, $6 million. If I go back up to what you pulled out of the Doge story, that's like 10% of the lease savings that they screwed up, right? Like, so that's good.
There you go. Great.
How about number 3? Everyone's a victim.
Oh yeah, you've had a lot of these this summer. There's been a lot of good, like, we are victim stories this summer.
You pulled a story, the AI bros are lonely. That's the headline.
Yeah.
And it's talking about like how they like they're in dark rooms, they don't leave their desks, they wish they could
It's
go
the world
out,
they
don't
created.
socialize.
Yeah.
And I was like, boo fucking who? Do something else, AI dumbass. And then when I saw these stories, that all sort of felt like just victimhood. Palantir CEO Alex Karp.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, when you talk about the AI bros are lonely, that because there was a reporting out this week that says that we're using 30% fewer words a day than we did 20 years ago. This is the world that they created.
Yeah, that's their fault.
They have
it's a straight line.
Yes, they have funneled us into a dark world where we consume like media, and that's it. That they are fundamentally changing our brains, and we're all sitting around watching it happen. We're all simultaneously angry about it, but we kind of refuse to do anything about it.
But it's also your fault. That's
my
the thing.
fault. Right?
It's not their fault.
Well, it is my fault because
of this.
If I could figure out how to get this platform into like the hands of everybody and have everyone invest and vote based on like what is in our platform, then maybe we'd start making a difference. But you're right. Since I'm failing at that, it is my fault.
It's your fault that you failed. Palantir CEO Alex Karp says Frontier AI Labs will steal your IP, your know-how, and your expertise. You deserve to be colonized.
Just that he's using that word colonized
How about that
gave me the
word?
creeps.
Like isn't that unbelievable?
It's not a word to throw around. Yeah.
Like, oh, the AI is coming for you, and if you use it, you deserve to be like taken over, have all your shit stolen.
Isn't this the guy who claims to hate elite people?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed
now
to,
people deserve to be colonized.
We deserve to be. What a fuckhead.
Yeah.
And finally, my favorite, Bill Ackman. Socialism is a disaster.
Right.
Bill Ackman says Zohran Mamdani's bad left-wing housing policy is worsening New York's affordability crisis.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mamdani definitely ruined housing in New York.
Mamdani's been there for like 9 minutes, and it's his fault. Yeah. Not that you bought all the houses because you're a billionaire and a blowhard and can do whatever you want. Not that you don't pay any taxes. Like, I know you're going to say, like, oh, I pay more in taxes than everybody else. Yeah, but not as a percentage of your income or net worth. So that's not, has nothing to do. The problem is Mamdani.
Yeah, it's
Ackman's
a brown
just
man
victim.
who cares too much. He's bleeding heart, I guess.
And then finally, number 4, no one is accountable.
Okay.
These 3 headlines just threw me mentally for a loop. The first one really just blew my mind. Bobby Kotick.
Oh, yeah.
Former CEO of Activision.
We used to cover him a lot back in the day.
May join Paramount's board of directors.
I love that. First of all, I love that it says may join. It's the first time they've had a headline where someone might join a board.
Yeah, I've not seen any headlines where someone maybe could join a board.
I feel like that's the perfect relationship, the Ellisons and the Koticks.
But they have approached him to join the board after the acquisition.
Mm-hmm. Which means he
will. So he hasn't joined yet. But just so we're clear who Bobby Kotick is, he's the guy who had basically like sex dens and like at Activision, they had some of the worst sexual misconduct stories we saw in years.
Yeah, we covered them. There were stories for months. We couldn't stop covering them.
I mean, like it was like some of the worst possible stuff, like hotel rooms where they would bring, like, there were like 7 girls who worked there, and they'd bring them to hotel rooms and force them to have sex. It was like
super creep. Yeah.
super creep.
Worse
And
than
California,
creep.
like fined them. It ended up like forcing his hand into the sale of Activision
absolutely.
to Microsoft, except that he golden parachuted his way out. Obviously, he made
that's how it always
tremendous
happens.
amount of money.
It broke up his empire, but he still benefited from it.
And then he's going to join the Ellison, Nepo babies.
Yeah, well,
on the Paramount board.
Paramount, they're the ones who show things like, UFC, the Dana White UFC rumbles.
I fucking hate it all.
There you go. Yeah.
And we covered this on Tuesday, but Jefferies analyst calls out simple-minded criticism of SpaceX governance.
I love this one. I love this guy.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I actually think about this. I was having a very nerdy thought this morning about governance, where I was thinking, like, because there seems to be this established like level of governance internationally that's okay, right? Like we're all going to agree that this minimum level of corporate governance is an absolute must. These are the standards that we should all. Otherwise, we're going to crumble into this corrupt world of. But if it goes like, there's some like imaginary line that if we step over, then we're all a bunch of bird brain idiots, right? Like you got to have some, but we're going to tell you when enough is enough, and that's what this guy's doing. He's basically saying like, okay, yeah, but no. Because I love Elon Musk, so get away.
He doesn't love Elon Musk. His version of it is you'll make a lot of money you could make a lot of money on SpaceX. So your simple-minded governance.
Why care about it at all?
You aren't taking into account the fact that you'll make a lot of money.
So why do we have any rules then?
Yeah, what the fuck? Like
throw it all away.
First of all, that like disproportionately is great for the rich people who can afford to buy the stock and sit on it for 30 years, right?
Yeah.
Like they make all the money. Post IPO, you're down 30%, right? Like already, right? Like so. And if you're going to say it's a long-term stock, sure. There are other companies there. You could have a company that allows for governance, like proper governance, to happen and be a long-term stock. Just because the last few tech bros had dual class shares does not mean that is simple-minded to ask for your basic rights as an investor.
Yeah, there is a world possible where companies that are governed like that remain private, right? Because that's what they are. They're private. And then on the public markets, we actually have standards. Like that's a world that we could live in.
The second thing is, how about the word simple-minded? Because he's talking about like, like he basically is like, oh, all you like people who are thinking about like dual class shares and that you don't have rights, like that's a simple way to think of it. It's the same argument that Jeff Sonnenfeld made, except I'm not looking at simple-minded data. I'm literally looking at data on 250,000 directors around the world over 30-year periods, looking at how they perform, what boards that they're on, the connections they have, their merit, how they're deferential to executives, like. There's a lot of not simple data. So saying it's simple-minded is actually like, I take personal like affront to that, because I'm looking at the names of these people and the boards that they're on and what they actually do. And they just suck Elon Musk's dick all day long. Well, that's all they do. And you're asking for my money to have those people suck his dick all day long while I get what little they're willing to give me in the hopes that it's a generational wealth event.
Yeah, you're part of something. Look,
get out.
I need to remind people too, including, what's this guy's name?
Aniket Shah, who's I'm connected to on LinkedIn. I've met him before. He's very nice.
I want him to come on the show. But Aniket, let's not forget that it was only 7 years ago that the Business Roundtable, and believe me, they wouldn't have put this out if they didn't have some belief in it. They wouldn't have gone this far. But they put out a statement about the purpose of a corporation, basically opening the door saying, hey, the world's getting a little nutty. And we need to reframe how we think about shareholder capitalism. Like it's time to grow up. And beyond that, even like the CEO of places like Walmart, who was the guy? McMillan was like fully in to stakeholder capitalism, because again, like the world has changed drastically, right? And that's 7 years ago. So we know there's some truth in there. So now you fast forward 7 years, and we've all like conveniently forgotten. And
They haven't
this
forgotten.
the Jeffries analyst. It's just all we can focus on is making shareholders making money. That's it. That's it. That's the end of the statement.
What they've done is bend the knee. That's all they've done.
There's more to just shareholders making money, Jeffries analysts.
All I know is that,
And you know
that-
it's
that
true. Yeah.
They need to justify a position that is you are giving up every right you have in the only goal is total shareholder return. That's the only
It's going
goal.
to take us
There
into the
is
dark
no
ages.
other goal. It doesn't matter if
yeah.
it destroys the earth. It doesn't matter if you have less rights.
I
It
don't
doesn't
know that
matter
it's going to destroy the earth, but we already see evidence
will.
of it destroying our culture and civilization. We know
Look,
that.
I'm taking a flight tonight.
Yeah.
We're going away. We're on British Air. They've changed our seats 4 times since we booked the flight
Why?
in December. Because capitalism, that's why. They changed the plane.
Because
they
they can-
charge you for premium. They want
Right.
to charge you for put things like the fact is like
Yeah.
there is a cost to total shareholder return. You aren't factoring
True.
it in because you
Yeah.
don't give a fuck about it. There is the offset to total shareholder return to limit the cost of it but still get it is shareholder rights. It is the board. It is governance. It is the things that you get as an investor
And
for your
stakeholders.
money.
Yeah, stakeholders.
Like that's the job. This just so triggered me, and all
All
this
right.
is capitulation. And then the last one is ABC,
Oh, there's
CBS,
more.
NBC
Yeah.
aired nearly 200 segments about 3 U.S. heat events without mentioning climate change.
You know what? I realize now that our brains are a little bit too like overlapping, because I saw that headline too, and my first thought was like, I gotta pull out who owns these? Who owns
that's
ABC,
exactly what
CBS,
I did.
NBC? Because I'm curious. Like, this can't be a coincidence, can it?
Did you know Iger's still on the board of Disney? He hasn't left yet. He's
Oh, I
still
actually
in
did not know
He's
that.
in his advisory board role. He's still on
Well, at
the
least
board or
Disney
whatever.
is like, I guess, the only company that is a regular, boring, one share, one vote, non-family controlled company, right?
That's true. That's the one. The other two are the Ellison family again. It is, little David and Daddy Larry,
Yeah.
and the Roberts family, who owns Comcast, which owns NBC. The Roberts family, a dual class company, owns NBC outright as a dual class company. So it's basically one cowed executive in Bob Iger and 2 dictators who we're getting our information from, and they refuse to mention climate change.
So
They
every,
refuse
like,
to mention that it's what scientists told us.
So every like schmuck on the subway will mention climate change in relation to like the horrible heat, but the news, the
news
news from our
won't.
3 big networks won't mention it.
Because no one is accountable anywhere.
Right.
All right, those are your 4. Everything's a publicity stunt, vanity project, victim, and no one is accountable.
I'm gonna go right to no one is accountable.
Ooh,
You triggered
I didn't
me
expect
with
that.
I you know me. I get triggered by the Jeffrey Sonnenfelds of the world and the Jeffries analyst calling out simple-minded criticism. Of course. I mean, he probably did that to get attention. I don't know why he's using terms like, but that's very Sonnenfeldian, right? It's to kind of go the opposite direction and really just like make it this hyperbolic statement. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was unnecessary.
I think it was a justification for, look, if we don't invest in this, we could
ride
miss out.
winners.
It's
Yeah.
FOMO, right? What happens if I don't invest in this
I don't
because
care
of
about your
some
FOMO.
governance thing, right? Like
Well,
that's
is he a
simple-minded.
teenager? I don't care.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you haven't assessed the trade-off. You haven't said like, oh, well, I could get 2,000% return. Great. At what fucking cost?
Exactly.
Like literally SpaceX is in swamplands in Louisiana, like blowing up like conservation lands. They're polluting everywhere. XAI was building data centers in people's backyards and just chucking pollution at them. Like one guy is a trillionaire and he's buying elections and he's the guy but you get a 2,000% return. So
you could spend 100 hours listing every horrible thing that
unfucking real
Elon
to
Musk
me.
has done. All right.
all right, let's get out of
yeah,
here.
come on.
Yeah,
I feel like we're making good time, though. We're making good time.
I'm
I
like
feel like I'm about to slow it down.
peppy and angry. Headlines, winners, predictions.
Unfortunately, I think I'm going to slow it down with my headlines. I had a lot of
Oh
things.
man, I have one short headline.
I had a lot of misplaced thoughts, but I'll try to go quickly. Pepsi's launching soda-scented body wash.
Yeah.
PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Wait a minute.
Go
Whoa,
ahead.
whoa.
Yeah.
You needed another headline after that?
I know. Yeah, you know what it is I got greedy because you're going away and because everything is now complicated in the world. I used to be able to record my own shows and put them out so easily, but now every platform we have is makes everything so hard, and I'm not going to be able to figure out how to do it and put it out without you. So I just wanted to throw in a few thoughts before you left. PricewaterhouseCoopers U.S. CEO Paul Griggs advises young workers to say yes a lot, even if it means working on the weekends, right? Which I loved. But then there was another article about PricewaterhouseCoopers saying that they got caught using AI on their thought leadership report about AI, resulting in a corporate document filled with bizarre hallucinations. So I don't know who is working a lot there. The people are just using AI.
That's the work you're doing on the weekends. You just say, yes, I'll do that report. Then you throw it into ChatGPT and it pops out a report. And you're like, see, I worked over the weekend on this.
My other headline that triggered me was DoorDash CEO Tony Xu once thought his $87 billion company would only make $100 million. He tells founders to be greedy.
Yeah, be greedy.
Now, let me just show you what greed. I want to show you what greed is. It's having multiple class shares, right? Where the Class B shares have 20 votes.
Oh, so bigger than the 10 normal.
Yeah.
Normal 10.
So Tony Xu only owns about 3% of the actual shares, right? But because of a binding agreement with his other founders, he controls 55% of voting power, right? And even worse, I was digging into the proxy. He quote unquote made $432,000 last year, right? That's according to the total summary compensation. And they actually said that resulted in a CEO pay ratio of only 12-1, right?
That's what they said. Nice.
But then just scroll a little bit further down. He actually made $343 million from shares and stocks last year. He exercised that much in options and shares, right? So that's a lie. And then I dug in a little deeper. They happen to leave out the dashers, the door dashers who keep the company running. They weren't figured into the actual median conversation because they don't really exist,
They're not
right?
real. They're not real. They're just the people who do the assault. They're not real.
And they make about $15 an hour, not even including all the expenses that they have to pay for, like fuel, vehicle wear, self-employment taxes, blah 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 blah. So it's all a bunch of. I mean, I guess he's right though, right? I mean, you got to be greedy to build an empire
That's
like
true.
this, right?
He did. Just for the record, Tony Xu also on the Meta board. So
is that
he's
right?
A dictator engaging a dictator. Yeah.
And finally, my last one, last headline of the week: Anthropic CEO, that's Dario Amodei, reportedly worried new hires only care about money. That they're coming to the company for money rather than the mission. He's worried about that.
Wait, I thought they were supposed to be greedy. I thought I was supposed to say yes to things and be greedy.
Also, it's your dumb company helping to destroy the world. So I don't know. Just maybe change the whole structure. Maybe I don't know. I mean, make it a nonprofit. Make it a public benefit corporation.
It is
I don't know.
Anthropic's a PBC.
Oh, it is?
It is a PBC, yeah.
So maybe just change how you pay people. I don't know. Just you're the boss.
Maybe turn off the AI and go start a shoe store.
Yeah, you're blaming people for so you get to be a billionaire and all your buddies are, but you're mad at people
I'm mad that somebody wants some money. I'm mad at you for wanting money. I wanted all the money.
All right, what do you got?
I got one.
Good.
I did this right. The headline is...
I have a lot of things to say before you go away, yeah.
Stripe CEO says his urgency to drop out of MIT, quote, was a bit unnecessary.
We should pin that to our website for everyone at college who Peter Thiel is forcing to drop out because he wants to take over your brain. Just stay in school.
Alex Karp is saying the best education you can get is working for Palantir and making no money. We'll give you a better education. Don't go to those elite colleges.
Don't go to MIT.
Just remember, Stripe CEO said, maybe it was a bit unnecessary to drop out so quickly. Yeah. Maybe
stay in college.
Who won the week for you?
Harvard Business, speaking of Cambridge, Massachusetts, right here in our beloved New England, Harvard Business School graduates, TikTok CEO Shu Ji Chu and TikTok US CEO Adam Presser both got MBAs from Harvard because nobody ever talks about them. Nobody knows who they are. And they just get away with like social, as you said, social experiments. But it's like nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows.
I have a much easier
I barely
winner.
know who they are. I had to look them both up.
I don't know. I guess those two, you're saying that the two CEOs are the winners of the week because no one knows who they are.
Yeah, because that's the goal, right? I mean, isn't that the ultimate
To have
win
all
in
the
this
money
world?
and no one knows who you are.
Yes,
Yeah.
isn't that to somehow? Yes, exactly. Yes.
All right, well,
I guess TikTok US is not a publicly traded entity, right? I mean, ByteDance is, but it's confusing.
Kind of, yeah.
Right?
Kind of. It's
All right.
they're yeah. Well,
And-
mine is way easier.
Go ahead.
My winner is meat. Just
Okay.
meat. I saw the headline: Salad and Go files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy after Cyclospora fears worsened its challenges.
I'm sure there were problems before that, but yeah,
I mean, like they filed for bankruptcy not because of the parasite.
they just gave up.
But then nobody wanted lettuce.
yeah, I get
like-
it. Perfect time to give up. I get it.
I mean, actually, the thing it did when I saw that headline, first of all, it made me think what a winner meat is now, right now. Like
I guess.
you're not getting the like
expensive,
Cyclospora
right?
from meat.
Yeah,
But the second
that's
thing
true.
I thought is, could it be possible that RFK Jr. actually manufactured this parasite to get people to buy meat because
You
he
know-
redrew
Yeah, you know he's
the
not that smart. You know he's
food
not that
pyramid and put
Yeah.
meat at the top of the food pyramid.
But you know he's not that clever.
And then at the bottom of the food pyramid was like lettuce because
Salad
of
and Go?
parasites.
Yeah. I've never even
I
heard
thought-
of Salad and Go, so I don't know what to
No,
tell
no,
you.
no, I don't think it exists anymore. Well,
Yeah.
now you definitely won't hear of it
Yeah.
because it doesn't exist. Predictions.
Okay, so you know me. A lot of my stories I just add on just to sets up my prediction. The whole Tony Xu DoorDash CEO is a ruse. It's just setting up my dumb prediction because I'm that desperate to tell a
I
dumb
almost
joke.
chose that story for other things, but
Tony Xu. My prediction is that Tony Xu introduces a Class F stock. I mean, short for FU probably.
yeah.
Class
yeah.
F stock, where shareholders' children enter indentured servitude and must deliver 1,000 cheesy gordita crunchers from Taco Bell before they are set free. And at that point, when they're set free from their indentured servitude, they will get 0.002 shares per vote.
Oh,
So that's a
look,
that's a
you got to
clever
be
system.
greedy. You
Gotta
got to
be
be
greedy.
greedy. You
Yeah.
got to be greedy.
I think we need indentured servitude back at these at these like dictatorships in the
we
U.S.
covered a year ago that child labor's back in the United States.
do it.
Isn't it? Like
go.
Child labor, the meritocracy of child labor. I
Yeah.
heard.
do you
Speaking of
got?
meritocracy, that meritocracy story triggered me into this prediction.
Yeah.
Because I saw this headline: boards are calling retired CEOs back as succession pipelines run dry.
How is that possible?
There are hundreds of millions of people in this country. There are 8 billion people on Earth. You can't find anyone to be the CEO. So
Why is that?
Here's my prediction.
Yeah.
Board to actually run out of ex-CEOs to re-king.
Oh, I like that. I never thought of that. Like you get the checker piece to the end of the board, and you
Yeah.
get another
You-
checker.
all of them are kings, and then you
Yeah.
can't, like, you're done.
Yeah.
And they begin looking for different egalitarian integrated professionals to fill new roles, and they call it DE&I.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go the other way and say they just get rid of the CEO position so no one can own it.
Well, that's the real future.
If we can't
AI
do
just-
it, no one can do it.
There's 3 CEOs, and all the
Yeah.
other CEOs are AI. That's all we got. That is Hazelnut Rollis. I am your analyst, Matt Moscardi. We are Free Flow. We're going to not be back next week. Just don't even bother, but do get the platform. If you didn't get the email and you want it, go email me, LinkedIn, ask a friend, email Damien, find a way, because the platform actually has
Use the
whole-
platform because I think
In fact-
I'm gonna try when Matt's gone. I'm gonna try to see if I can add some, original commentary to some of the companies. Maybe people can check out
That's
some of that.
right.
in the
If you
platform.
have comments you want to put publicly on companies, we
Yeah.
can You can tell us, you can write it up, send it to us, and we'll put it on platform for everybody to see. We actually have reporters who are now on it. Multiple reporting groups have asked us for access to the data because it's so good. Not a joke, not an exaggeration.
They know they're crazy, according to Anthem, if they don't do that.
According to Anthem. That's all we got. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Until then, goodbye.